Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and today we're playing Gunmetal. Now this intro is rather interesting, so I wanted to sit and let everybody watch it. The thing that makes this intro a little interesting to me is that this is a 2003 game, and the graphics don't look that bad for 14 years old. They look like along the line of something that you would see maybe 2 or 3, maybe 4 or 5 years ago coming out on the cell phone. And they're still a little cartoony, a little round and low polygon count, but the subject matter being here mechas that turn into planes and hover tanks allows for you to put some sharp edges in there. More realistic things like the trees and the mountains probably are going to suffer more if the game really looks like this, which is a big if, certainly. There is, however, some hope here, because I do know that this is probably a Japanese company that made this game, and the Japanese love their mech games. It never really made a ton of popularity in the West other than Robotech, which was the combination of 3 mecha animes that had nothing to do with each other, and they just kind of completely rewrote the story. Before we get started, I'll point out that there's no options, at least not on this screen. This is one of the games that I have collected in my time as being a YouTuber, and I've gotten it for free. And because of that, I'm only really not committed enough to give it 30 minutes. If it turns out it controls awfully, if it looks badly, I don't think I'd spend much more time. In fact, I've already said in covering several of the other games that I've gotten free that I probably am not the type of player that wants to play a mecha game. And here I am playing a mecha game just to contradict myself, which I sometimes love to do. Now, it's worth pointing out I didn't get these games because I was a YouTube video critic or anything. They were simply free on Steam or the Humble Store or Twitter. And I've had a really low success rate. I've played, I imagine, 30 games now and found 2 or 3 worth playing. So we're doing about 10%. The rest are very bad, and you get what you pay for, I suppose. Let's start a game, pick an empty slot. We'll just go with Gunmetal 1. Save the game. Now we can get to options. Let's see. This is a pretty old control setup, so let's see if we can perhaps bump it up to something as high as we like. I'm just seeing a black screen. I imagine you're seeing the same. You would have thought by now it would have undid any changes. The game doesn't have that. Oh man, that took forever. Let's see, 1280 by 960. We'll just keep switching between things until we find something that works. I guess 1280 by 960 is the best you can get, and we'll see what happens if we change it to cinema, and anti-aliasing can be 8x, true bit, true color. Like, we had a better resolution there. It just stopped working. And that's not untrue, because that certainly was the same case with, there you go, 1440 by 480. That's no good. Right. Oh, so much hassle. And I imagine it's just beeping, trying to get a resolution that will work. every time. Here we go. We'll go 1280 by 720. That seems like that is the best we're gonna get. That's 720p, I believe, and that's probably the lowest resolution that my video card can even handle, being somewhat modern video card. Audio, we'll leave everything the same. I think I've figured out how to not have to mess with audio in games going forward. Let me know in the comments if I'm sounding too loud or too soft compared to the background audio. And there really is nothing here. My Xbox One controller is working, so that gives me some more hope. Anytime a game lets me use a controller instead of a mouse and keyboard, I have at least a little bit of a hope that it's not going to turn out to be clunky in its interface. And it seems like we can't select any missions because none of the buttons are doing anything. B goes back, A goes forward. So we can have Vulcan cannons, or the Phoenix, or apparently HVAC jets. Again, this looks pretty good. Like, somebody put some effort here. Machine pistol, flak gun, Havoc Suit. I think we have all of this. Like, I think this is all going to be by default ours. The question will be, is the game
farming area is the source of essential provisions for our troops.
Going to teach me how to play?
We have done all we can to prevent enemy occupation, but the front line has finally been breached. Our intelligence headquarters has now come under heavy attack. It is finally time to reveal Project Gunmetal. Show no mercy.
So I guess my mecha suit is new. Cheap graphics in this point, but that could be intentional, even.
The headquarters is under siege. Assist the Allied forces.
Game. I'm seeing a spinning dial in the middle. And okay, I guess I had to hit the mouse first before I could use the controller. Nope, the controller does not work apparently in a consistent fashion. Well, I'm not going to make a mistake I've made before and try to mess with the controller. We'll go to the WASD and keyboard. So, control fell apart.
We're beginning to get the upper hand.
This runs rather well. Probably faster than it's supposed to be running. Or ever ran before, at least. Like, for a 2003 game, maybe they've been patching it ever since. Like, sure, this isn't, it's just 720p on the resolution, but I've got a nice wide screen, I'm getting vision, I'm getting bloom when I look at the sun, things are nice and shiny. And at the moment, it seems like I can control it with WASD.
Good work. The invasion has been repelled.
And then the Q button switches.
Reconnaissance of the area to verify that our weapons plant remains intact.
This works.
The weapons plant has been marked with a cross on your radar.
I can fly it too with the mouse. And crashing. Doesn't immediately kill you. This might all be facade. I will grant you that.
The weapons plant appears to be fully functional. Take advantage of the ammo dumps and re-energizer before completing your reconnaissance.
just ask this question. Do I hurt myself if I walk into the laser wall? No, I don't. It's a little clunky. I will say that. Like, the mouse sensitivity is really, really high. And apparently I'm getting energized and refilling my shield just by being near it. And the E button switches this. Does R do anything? Does this do anything? Like, you can jump and do kind of like a ground pound with X.
We have detected multiple airborne hostiles at the farming area. They should at least provide some useful target practice. Head toward the marker on your radar.
Let's see, let's hit the escape button for a moment. And now the mouse disappears. Options. Control. Mouse sensitivity. Let's turn that down. And let's see. Configure controllers and all of that. Like on a keyboard. Like, it seems to have half configured control support, but maybe for some other controller besides the 360 controller. My guess is maybe a PlayStation 1 or 2 controller, and that might be the difference. I'm rather shocked that this is the game. I pretty much figured this would be awful.
This is a lifeline for our people. It must not be harmed. You must protect the farm area.
They're certainly not using any very detailed description here. They could have instead called it like Sector 1, Sector 2, and then there could have been more missions without needing to have as many specific names. Farm area is a little long, but again I would guess that this is
Our food stocks are being wasted.
a Japanese game first and foremost, so farm area probably translates into a nice brief phrase in Japanese. It's just being localized poorly. Like, honestly, why not just call it farms? The farms are important. Protect the farms. Wow. I kind of want to play this, but I kind of don't because I still know I'm going to suck at a game like this. This is for pros only. Unless the game is going to be very generous, it didn't ask any difficulty rating or anything. And there is some major mouse sensitivity issues. Like, really, really sensitive mouse. Even now that I've turned it down. The map is an interesting three-dimensional map, but
well done.
It makes it kind of hard
to a much-needed victory. Sadly, Allied casualties were very high.
See, I imagine that there was a better way to play that mission. How many missions are there, I wonder? Defender, location, zone 1. Are we gonna get to play as the hover tank ever? And that's 0 hour completed. So, now we have a torpedo that's been added. I wouldn't be surprised if there was only like 12 missions in total.
The enemy has been deploying automatons to deliver devastating explosives to our settlements. We have detected a number of these walking bombs making their way toward our weapons research facility. Protect our settlements and do not let the enemy jeopardize the arms program.
I'm a little surprised there's voice acting in this too. Like, somebody thought this would
Our
sell.
settlements are vulnerable to attack. You are their only hope.
My ground attack does not do much damage to that. Whatever that was that the explosive? And here we go.
Settlement 1 is safe for now. More enemy units are approaching Settlement 2. You are needed there immediately.
The idea of transforming from a mech to an airplane isn't a terrible thought. Like, particularly in modern warfare style of dealing with things. Let's see. Do I have a torpedo or something? Apparently torpedoes don't work. I'm trying to switch guns here. Black cannon. And it just lands in a specific spot and fires when it gets close enough. Blow up my own thing.
Your health is low. Use the re-energizer.
Re-energizer? Where is that? And I'm dead. And restart mission. And that's what I figured was going to happen. If you crash, if you die, it is one of these cruel Japanese style games where you're expected to be perfect, and if you can't be perfect, then you shouldn't be playing. It's Dark Souls before Dark Souls was ever a thing. Plenty of games like this in the older generations. And people learn for good reason not to make games like this. This is probably based off some kind of arcade game. It looks a little too nice. It looks a little too fancy to not be some kind of quarter swallowing arcade thing. And the way I died like that and gamed over certainly screams
Settlement 1 is safe for now.
They probably would try
More
to
enemy units are approaching Settlement 2.
drain your pockets
You
of
are
quarters.
needed there immediately.
If only I had skill in a game like this. If only I had skill, I would play this. But sadly, no. Like, I'm already very much banging my head against bad games that I've gotten free. And the last thing I want to do is do more of that. I'm out of missiles. shield needs time to refill. And in the meantime, my gun is doing very little damage. My flak gun only has so many shots. These little guys are way smaller than I am, but they seem to have some lasers. And the lasers do seem to be pretty good at locking in on me from a pretty far distance. And this torpedo gun is doing a lot of damage.
The attack on Settlement 2 has been thwarted. Keep it up. Settlement 3 is now under attack. Use every means at your disposal to repel the enemy troops.
Short of kamikaze, I even like the skybots. I'm having a hard time really believing this is a 2003 game. This looks so much better than other games that were available at the same time. But I guess that just really comes down to how much money, how much budget, how much effort do you want to put in your game. Let's see, here's the... Will I take any damage falling? No, but that's pretty typical. We apparently hit civilians there, accidentally.
Health is low. Use the re-energizer.
And I don't know where a re-energizer is. It's not behind this destructible environment. But that is rather interesting. Is this a re-energizer? Nope. We saw some of those before. But they just let me kill... they just killed a bunch of them. And mission failed. Okay. We're good. We're good. I have to applaud Gunmetal. If you love mecha games, you can, I think, really probably play this game with a mouse and keyboard. Maybe you need to pull out an old mouse, though. This is, modern mice are too sensitive, and it's not like I have a high dots per inch gaming mouse or anything like that. I have a very generic Logitech wireless mouse. It's not wired, it's not fancy or anything like that. And it still was way too sensitive at the beginning. So yeah, if you like mecha games, Gunmetal's for you. Sadly, I'm no good at them. I don't have a huge love for them. I wish there was a really, really easy mecha game out there that I could maybe cut my teeth on. If somebody knows, suggest it in the comments. But you can see it's going to take me multiple attempts to get through each mission. I suspect there aren't that many missions in the first place. I'd be surprised if it's more than 20 even. I wouldn't be surprised if it was low as 10. And you can see those missions aren't hugely giant areas with a lot of variety, but for a 2003 game, it looks way better. I actually would say I'm kind of giving this game a thumbs up for the niche people that like to play mecha games. There's probably a lot better ones out there, but I don't even know if in modern Japanese society they're even that popular. I haven't seen anything in the past few years, at least. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching.